Okay, here is super quick intro to multimeters. So we're going to measure the voltage and the current for this wire. So the first thing we need to do is hook it up to a power supply. So this is a power supply. You'll notice this one has three plugs. We're just going to use the red and the black for positive and negative. It also has a power switch. It has a voltage and a current meter, but we're not going to use those. And then it has an adjustment for the voltage and an adjustment for the current. This current thing is really a current limiter, so you don't have too much current coming out. So I'm going to take this right there, and I'm going to plug it in over here. Okay, it's already on because someone left it on. Leave it off. So it's off. Now I'm going to take a wire. Got my wires. I'm going to plug it in right there. The colors of the wires, they're just for fun. They don't matter. Okay, so use whatever color you want. Sometimes people like to use the colors to keep track of where everything's plugged in. So I have this nichrome wire. I'm just going to clip that right there. Okay, so it's clipped to the wire. And I'm going to clip the other end over here. I'm going to use red just because I don't care. This is an alligator clip because it looks like an alligator. See, see that? Alligator. And clip that right there. Okay, so now all I have is comes out of the negative. It goes to one end of the wire. It goes through the wire and it goes back to the power supply. So I'm going to now turn this on. I'm going to turn down the voltage all the way. I'm going to turn the power. Okay. Now, as I turn the power up, if I get to current limit, this thing will click on and it'll limit the current. Okay. This wire is the same kind of thing you have in a toaster or a hair dryer, and it's going to get hot if you leave it on. So as long as you keep the current under an amp for 30 seconds, you'll be fine. But just don't touch it right away. Okay, so that's working. Now I want to measure the current. So to measure the current, we want to actually see how much current's going through this wire. We actually have to take apart the wire. We have to put the ammeter in the circuit. So let's use this. This is a multimeter. It measures current and voltage. So I'm going to use this to measure the current. So I'm going to take it and plug it in. Excuse my mess. Plugged in. Okay, now let's take my cables. Oh, someone asked about these things in the back. This is just a heat sink because it can get hot, and there's a way to cool it off by having a larger area. So that's not anything that you have to worry about though. So this is plugged in, it's actually already on. If you look right here, it has multiple plugs. So there's one black one that says COM for common, and I want to use this as for a current meter. I can go up to 20 amps, or I can do 2 amps max. I don't want to go over 2 amps, so I'm going to use these two wires. So I'm going to take, here's the important part. Oh, these other buttons. Look at these other buttons. So this button says AC, DC. We want DC. And I want this on milliamps, and then up to 2,000 milliamps. So that'd be 2 amps. Okay, so now I'm going to take this apart. So now I broke the circuit. It doesn't work anymore. And instead, I'm going to go into the milliamp. I'm going to get another cable from there to go to my wire. Okay, so now let's look. I have current coming out. It goes into the milliamp of the ammeter, out of the common, to the wire, across the wire, back to the power supply. This is on milliamps, it's on everything right now. So let's just go ahead and turn things on and measure stuff. So here I have a voltage. Here I have a negative 433 milliamps. So that's 0.433 amps. The negative just means that current's going this way and so that way. We don't have to worry about the negative sign. Okay, now let's measure the voltage. So I'm going to turn this off. And now I'm going to take another multimeter. This is a different kind, but it does the exact same thing. It has almost the same buttons. Here I'm going to use COM, common, and V for voltage. Okay, so I need to put this on DC, V, and then the setting for the volts, it goes 2, 20, 200. I'm not going to go over 2 volts. Okay, well, I might go over 2 volts. I'm not going to go for 20, so I'm going to put it on the 20 setting. And the power is already on, so let's plug this sucker in. I can put it right there. save space, although you can't read it that way. But I can if I pull this thing comes back. Should. There we go. Let's just pull that back. There. Look at that. Well, it's not perfect, but good enough. So the power, to measure voltage, we do not have to take apart the circuit. All we do is have two wires, go to the two things we're going to measure the voltage across. So I'm going to take one wire from common to one end of the wire, one end from volt to the other end. So here's my two wires. Wire. These are actually called, guess, it's not an alligator clip, guess, banana plug. It's supposed to look like a banana? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, so I'm going to put this in common, and then I want to connect it to this end of the wire. Now, I could get another alligator clip, but these plugs have a plug in the back, so I can just kind of chain these together. That's the same thing. See that? Isn't that cool? Okay, now I'm going to take another wire and to go from here to this. Now I'm ready. Okay, I'm going to turn my power supply back on right here. The voltage is down, so that's on. Now I'm going to turn up the voltage a little bit. Okay, so I have a good reading right there. Let's turn it down. Okay, so this is 1.82 volts. This is 214 milliamps. So I can write that down and use that as one of my readings to make a graph. And then I can turn this up, let's say to 2.31 and 272, and I can keep going up and put it, 5, 10, 20 data points, whatever works for you. That's it. When you're done, make sure you turn these things off. It's best to turn the voltage down. Turn that off, turn that off, turn that off, and pick it up and put it back where you found it.